when everything happened with me and I became so famous, I forgot my creator who had been the one giving me these blessings. I was now focused on pleasing people.
Showing that you're successful.
And proving, not showing, proving it. Because we like to prove ourselves to people so that we can gain respect for our ego, our pride, because it needs to be rubbed. Whereas that is where my biggest learning curve was.
Hi guys, welcome to my Sil Simon show. But before we continue, just make sure you hit the subscription button, you like, you comment and share to make sure that we have more guests coming on our show. Today we have an incredible lady that I love, that I adore, someone who have been excelling in her work. You know, while some of us were still young and primary, and she has been doing her job. She's a producer, she's an actress, she's a presenter, and we just have a very exciting time in the studio. We are joined by Nonhle Thema. Oh yes, it's Nonhle.
Oh wow, thank you. I'm so excited to be invited here to your wonderful studio and meeting you guys and your team. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much. We appreciate for making time to come and talk to us. We don't take it this lightly. It means a lot to us.
It's okay. You know, it's important because I run my own talent coaching academy.
Yes.
I run my own school where I train young people on how to make a success of themselves, of their lives, whether in the entertainment industry or just in life in general. But mostly we train actors, aspiring actors, TV presenters, models, beauty queens, public speakers, just grooming your own confidence, you know, learning scripts, knowing how to articulate yourself, and social media etiquette, how to handle yourself on social media platforms, because that's the world you young people are on.
Yes, yes.
So whenever young people need me, I like to make myself available, because as I'm 42 now, I believe I'm here to impart knowledge on the new generation, you young ones, so that you can learn from a person who's done what I've done and experienced what I've experienced, and just for me to share. So I'm happy to share.
Thanks so much. Just in my introduction, I tried to briefly say who you are, what you do, what you have done, but you have done quite a lot of things. Modeling, as you have mentioned, done modeling and quite a lot. But we'll get into that later on.
Sure.
What I'm interested in right now is knowing Nonhle at the age of 5, where your dreams then, how your childhood experience.
Okay. I love that question because I get to reminisce. In my bedroom right now, I have a lot of pictures of me as a little girl, because I'm always trying to put the puzzle of my life together. And it's always important to go back to your childhood, where you come from, who you are, so that you can know who you are now. And I remember when I look at my pictures of the little girl Nonhle was very quiet. And I used to cry a lot. Yeah, very quiet, shy, awkward, very sensitive. That's when I used most of my pictures. Some I'm smiling, some I'm crying, that my parents used to take. So that's who Nonhle was when she was a little child. Very sensitive, very quiet in a space, like I was there, but I was not there. Next up happy. And even like when I would visit my mom in Soweto, because I grew up between Bryanston and Soweto, I would stay in the house. I liked to play with toys in the house, and I used to stay home and listen to music. So I was a very different kind of child. Yeah.
At what time did you start having dreams as a young person, and what were those dreams?
Oh, wow. I think I've always just been fortunate enough to just be exposed to things and dream, because you can't dream when you don't have the exposure, right?
Yes.
So I had my parents. My father was a journalist, Thema. He was a writer, a newspaper editor, And then my mother was an actress and a model. So because of them being known, they were already known in the entertainment industry and in the world. My house, my family home, used to be filled with celebrities. Brenda Fassie, Bo Mang Mang, whoever you can name, legendary, used to be in my home. So I grew up watching my mom on TV, seeing people that were on TV. I grew up with the TV.
Yeah.
So I was always having access to television, and I just always used television as a way for me to like dream about where I want to go in life, where I want to be. So I started very young dreaming about being on television. And because I used to see my mom there and all the people that used to visit, I would see their music videos. And I remember when I was 13 years old, I was in grade 7?
Yes.
Standard 5 back then. And my best friend was a white girl at school. And, white people on holidays, when we had school holidays, they travel.
Yes.
They go abroad. They go America and wherever. And me, whenever there were school holidays, I would leave Bryanston and go to Soweto to visit my mom for the holidays because my parents were separated, remember? They were divorced. So I would visit my mom. And I came back to school. My friend was like, yo, we were in America. And she told me about her experience going to America. And I remember I asked her questions. I said, how do you get to America? She's like, you have to get on a plane. And I said, okay, I've been on a plane once. So I understood what a plane was about, right? So I said, okay, so how long is the flight? She's like, oh, we flew the whole day. And I remember she explained to me that she was in a plane for 24 hours. And I remember I immediately was like, wow, I want to travel. Then I started manifesting and dreaming about one day going to the United States of America. And I asked her questions like I said, when you got there, how were the people? Are people nice? And she was like, yeah, people are so nice. And, and I said to myself, one day I want to go to America. Just that day of that conversation, I was 13 years old. My memory recorded.
It stuck with you.
I traveled. I was given an opportunity to experience going to America when I was 24. So 11 years later.
Yeah.
So the power of dreaming and manifestation is thinking of something and wishing that it happens. And then one day it actually just, boom, it happens and you go, oh, have you never had that feeling where you're like, yo, Nonhle Thema is actually in my show. I wanted her. Do you have that feeling right now? Because I'm
yes.
I'm just messing with you. I want to see how fast you are.
No, like it's humbling and at the same time it's shocking, surprising.
Yeah,
because
it's like a dream.
Yeah, you see people on the screen and now you get to meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can I touch you? Are you real? You don't believe it's happening. But just before you travel the world, in grade 7, you had that dream to say one day I want to go to the States, I want to travel the world, I want to be in a plane for 24 hours. And so it's like how it is to be in a plane for 24 hours. Because
I had only been in a plane one time to go to Durban. From Joburg to Durban.
So an hour.
Yeah, 45 minutes. And I remember that was amazing. So I was like, wow, can you imagine like you're in this place, this little thing, this flying thing for like a day. Wow, how does that feel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So before you did TV, I heard somewhere that you were a model, beauty pageant model.
Yeah.
When did that start?
So when I then from primary school, I then went to high school, and that's when I kind of started discovering myself. And also my background, my primary school, I was the only Black girl in my school.
Wow.
So I grew up also in a different environment. I was molded a lot by my friends that had more than me. They had wealth as well. They traveled a lot, and I kind of was finding my identity through everyone that I was with when I was young, So when I got to high school, I was now exposed to more people of my race. I started finding Nonhle in a different way. Now I had Black friends, I was like, okay, I want to do this TV thing. Then the TV dream started then. I started loving urban music, you know, R&B music. Then I started tapping into that world. And I remember when I was in high school, after school, I would go home and my obsession, I'd sit on the couch before I took my uniform. Channel O. And I just watched Channel O and I loved the music. I loved the VJs and I started dreaming and I said, this is what I want to do. This is cool. And I just started discovering myself as shy because I came from a very shy background. I was shy even in primary school. You can imagine being the only Black girl. Yeah. I was more always just observing and learning and I was just there, you know. I started finding my voice as I grew and I started expressing myself more. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You do make sense now. But being shy, was it like meaning that you were an introvert?
Not really. I think now when I look at my life, I think me being quiet and shy, even from when I was little, was like just me. It was God saying, learn, yes. Observe. I was learning the world. Because you can't learn when you are talking. Yes. You only learn when you're listening. And when you are listening, you have to be quiet. Exactly.
Yes. So now, after the modeling part,
Oh, wait, I didn't tell you. Yeah, so I got into modeling because yes. I was, once I got to high school, I started, you know, enjoying life a little bit. Yes. And I remember being discovered, modeling agencies. Like I was just walking in Sandton City one time with friends and people used to stop me and say, hey, do you want to do modeling? And then I kind of ended up doing it.
There are people like that, friends. There's a girl who's doing theater performance. She's studying acting and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Just look like you, and you know. This other day I was like, "Oh man, are you interested in joining Miss SA?"
Yeah.
And now that you are saying that people were selling the dream to you mm-hmm. to say you're a good model. You know, that people also, when I look at them, it's like you can be a great model.
I do the same with my talent school. I mean, I can see immediately like, I think you could be good at this. Would you like to? And I've helped people find their passion just by speaking it to them and saying, you know, you could be good acting. You could be good at acting. And they go, really? And then they really discover that they actually are good. Yeah. So sometimes you just need another person to see something in you because we don't always see ourselves the way the world does.
And now doing the modeling part, mm-hmm. How did you get your first gig as a presenter?
Oh, okay. So presenting came later. So when I was in high school, I started my biggest power is my mind, yes. My manifestation. That's where the magic of making your life a reality, of every dream you want. When I was in high school, the last year of high school matric, they asked us in our matric yearbooks, they were like, okay, since you guys are leaving, we're going to have a page with all your faces. Underneath, you're going to tell us what you want to achieve now after you finish school. I had friends that said they want to get married. Others said they want to travel the world. Others were saying they want to be rich. And I wrote, I want to have my own TV show.
In grade 12.
I don't know what I was talking about because I hadn't been on TV. Like I was doing adverts, yes. But I already started dreaming of presenting, because I was already inspired with Channel O. So I wrote that down and they put that in my book. And under my name, it's me looking small, picture of me shy. And it says TV presenter. I want to have my own talk show. And it happened. So I was 17 when I matriculated and then I turned 18. I started working, did modeling more, pageants more at Eastgate. I won a couple of pageants here and there. And then I met people along the way. Yeah. So I hustled to get my Channel O gig. when I started modeling, I had something called a Z card. I don't know if you know what a Z card is. Like they put your modeling pictures together for you. Portfolio. It's like a CV portfolio vibes.
Portfolio,
and then it's got your details and stuff. So I had a modeling card, and I remember there was no social media when I was 18. So I wanted to get to Channel O because now I'm finished matric. Because my dad had said I can't do anything until
go to varsity. You can't go.
No. He had said, now I went to study IT. I went to LMB campus after that. I was full on studying. I did IMM. I did all of that. But I'm saying after matric, my dad did not want me to get into the entertainment space.
Yes.
He had said, like, you have to finish school first. So when I finished matric and now I was registering for varsity, which I did IT, information technology, because that was the trend back then. And my dad enforced me to do it. And I dragged myself to do it. But after 1 year, I was like, okay, I don't like this. And then I changed. But before that, my own dream was just Channel O, was working as a VJ. So after high school, I went to the office of Channel O. I found out their address and their production house. I looked at the yellow pages. There was the yellow pages back then.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you guys are so spoiled. You guys have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have all these things. So we had the yellow pages where you find a telephone directory where you get all the numbers of the companies that are registered in South Africa.
Yes, we'll find them on Google right now.
Yeah, there was no internet like that back then, remember?
Yes.
So the telephone directory gave me all the information of the production house that was producing Channel O, because I knew that their production house was called Devereaux Harris. So I found the number, got the address, because the telephone directory has people's numbers and addresses. So then I got the address and I caught a taxi. I didn't tell anyone in my family.
Yeah.
I caught a taxi to Melville. That's where the office was. And I knocked at the door. I was just chill, dressed as a young person. I was 18. And the reception lady opened the door and was like, hi, can we help you? And I said, hi, I'm Nonhle. And she's like, okay, great. Why are you here? Do you have an appointment? I said, no, I just want to speak to whoever that's a boss, because I want to tell them that I would like to work here. And she looked at me. She's like, you want to work here? I said, yeah.
How old are you?
I was 18.
Yes.
I said, I want to be a presenter. And she says, oh, Sisi, I don't know if they are looking for new presenters, because they had presenters already that are working for them. I said to her, no, I understand. Because the presenters that you have, I love them. They are the ones that are inspiring me. I'm here because of them.
Mm.
I want to work with everyone. Just add me on top. You know? She's like, I begged. She was so nice. She said, okay, because you came all the way here in a taxi, go and see the big boss, the producer. The office is down the corridor. She gave me the opportunity, because you know, security guards and receptionists, they can either enter you in or exit you out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If they don't let you in the building, you are just...
I can cause a scene. I can cause a scene. That's true.
So I was so lucky, because the universe, God was on my side, because this was my purpose. I was meant to be there. She allowed me to enter, and then I met, funny enough, the boss was there, the producer. You know, most of the time, bosses are always busy.
Yeah.
This particular producer was there. I entered his office, I knocked, and he's like, hi, can I help you? And I was like, you know, I'm a huge fan of Channel O. I'm obsessed. And they had all these TV channels all over the office, and the presenters were playing on there,
Yes.
just on a low volume. And I said, I want to do what they're doing. I want to present. I'm here. And he was like, oh, that's nice. We've got presenters. We're not looking for new ones. And I was like, I'm sure one day you're going to want new people. Because life, I already knew that in life, there's always a rotation.
Yeah.
And life is a season. So then I convinced him to just take, I had a bit, my modeling card. I gave him my modeling card. And I said, I'd love to work here. If one day you have an opportunity, please call me. My number was on there. I was 18, 19, 20, 21. 3 years later, they called me.
You still kept your card.
They had my card. They were like, Nonhle. And I wasn't famous at the time. I was hustling. You know, I was just a young girl trying to find her feet. in the world. And then they called and they said, we are now hosting auditions. And I went.
You got the key.
There was 1,000 other people.
What when you get the call to say you can come and audition, it's not saying auditioning doesn't say you got the job.
No.
There's a lot of competition when you go there. There are more beautiful people than you.
Yes.
There are more talented people like you. They have more confidence like you. They can do it better than you. So what gave you the confidence to say, you know what, let me give it a try?
No, but I was waiting for that.
Yes.
It wasn't like I was giving it a try. It was mine. I owned it because I had manifested it since I was a little girl.
In grade 12.
Grade 12. No.
When you said on the
no, since I was in primary school, I was thinking of this job, and high school. And when I wrote it, it was one of those things that I knew it's like I knew it was for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but life is very spiritual.
Yes.
Life, as we are sitting here physically, there's a lot of activity happening that we cannot see, and for me to be here, it's not accidental. There's a purpose. Life is led by things that are unseen, which can save your life as well. Have you ever missed turning left and you hear something happen and you're like, hey, something said I must turn right. That's what I walk with the Holy Spirit always guiding me. So when I got that call that they were now auditioning, I knew that was God calling me, saying, this is your time. Then I got ready. I said, okay, there's going to be other people. Joburg was there. The whole of South Africa, maybe, not even just Joburg, the whole of South Africa was there because everyone wanted that opportunity. Can you imagine if there's an opportunity on a platform that you're looking to get into and you're a young person and everyone that's young like you wants that opportunity?
Yeah, some people live Limpopo, KZN, Free State to come and audition.
They were from everywhere. Everyone was from everywhere. So I knew that I needed to look different. So I had my hair like this length. But I colored it burgundy purple, so that I could stand out. I knew that would catch people's attention because I knew Channel O was about trendy, vibey. Because you must always know, like, whatever you want, you need to do research on what is that world that you want to enter. So my world of television, I knew Channel O was trendy, was funky, was fresh, was vibrant, was confidence. So you can't get there by easy. You need to know your story. You know what I'm saying? So I got there. I knew I was going to stand out. I had purple hair and I wore a purple crop top with blue jeans and purple heels. So I was matching. And then I had a tongue ring because I had one after high school just to rebel. And when I stood in line with everyone and we were given scripts to rehearse them while we were in line, so I was ready. My link was, yo, what's up everybody? It's your girl Nonhle. Welcome to Channel O. This music video is, because I already knew. I had been
watching them. And
I was practicing being given this platform since I was a little girl. So when my opportunity came to audition, the lady was there with the camera. She was like, stand there. What's your name? I was like, hi, I'm Nonhle Thema. I'm 21. I was 21, yeah. And she's like, okay, great. Give us a link. You know what a link is, right?
Yes,
you do links all the time. Gave her my link. I had prepared my link and I freestyled. She liked it because they gave us a script, but I was ad-libbing. And she was like, you are good, but there's a tongue ring there. It's distracting. Go and take off that tongue ring because it can maybe hinder you getting this job. No one had ever seen that I had a tongue ring, my whole family. But that lady saw that tongue ring on that camera. And I was like, okay. I went and I took out that tongue ring. She waited for me and I came back. And she's like, okay, go, do it again. And I did it. Then I got a second call back. Then I got a third call back. Meaning like they went from like 10,000, they went to 1,000. Then from 1,000, they went to 500. Then from 500, they went to 40.
That's screening.
That. And we had to keep auditioning all the time. And eventually, I remember I was driving, getting my driver's license. I had a driving instructor teaching me to drive because I learned to drive when I was 21. I was busy And then I had a cell phone. Yeah. I had my cell phone in high school, so I
Motorola.
already had my cell phone. My first cell phone was an Alcatel.
Yes.
I think the one they phoned me on was a Nokia.
Yeah.
Those ones, those big Nokias.
Yeah.
And I was driving and my phone rang and I grabbed it. They were like, "Hi, is this Nonhle?" I said, "Yes." And I remember I was told, "You got the job." I was like, "Oh, yes!" I think I screeched the car and I just almost like, yeah, but I just stopped on the corner. The driving instructor guy was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" I said, "I got the job. I said, "I got the job." But I knew in the spiritual world that it was there coming. It was just a matter of time because I knew that job was mine because I claimed it. Because in life, you have everything that you already claim. If you claim success, you receive success. If you claim opposite of success, you will receive anything that you put your mind in. If you believe you won't reach a certain level because somebody in your family didn't reach or other people say, you live Kokasi, you won't. But me, I came from both backgrounds. I grew up in Soweto, I grew up in the suburbs, but my vision was always, hey, I can do this. I was always believing in myself because I knew that I could do it. So I knew this job was meant for me because I knew God loves me and he's going to give me what I've been asking. I've been watching channel all my life.
And dreaming to be on that.
Exactly. So dreams, manifestation, and I made the effort. Remember, when you have a dream, you must make the effort. I went and I gave them my card. I met the job halfway. And I went to the auditions. I prepared. Remember, you have to have preparation, meeting opportunity. You have to prepare for the opportunity for you to get where you want to go. I had been prepared. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I was long prepared for that job. You can't get a job if you're not ready.
It's not happening.
Yeah. You have to prepare. So the modeling that I was doing was preparation.
Yeah, giving you all the confidence, the experience.
Because now when I got on there, I had
You've been on stage so many times.
That's it. I was ready. I was prepared. All those little pageants I used to do in the corner of the streets, because I used to do pageants anyway, just for exposure. They were training me to be able to speak in front of people, to talk with confidence, with vigor.
Having the parents who were already in the industry, your father's a journalist, your mom actress and model also, did that maybe give you an advantage for anything?
I still had to push. I pushed my own career. My parents, unfortunately, they couldn't do anything because they were not hiring for the job I was looking for, Channel O. My parents they didn't even know what that was. They were just doing their own thing. So there was no real advantage except for growing up, being able to see them live their dreams. I was able to dream, to see that anything you want can be done because my parents were living their dreams. So they helped me dream to achieve my dreams. But they couldn't open the doors for me. I had to go and knock.
But while growing up, watching your mom, you're sitting with her and she's right here in front of your screen. Did that maybe kind of spark something in you? Something like what?
Yeah, I think definitely that made me have an interest in TV. And my father is late now. May his beautiful soul rest in peace. Mr. Derek Thema, DT as he was called. He was obsessed with writing and reading, and he loved watching TV, and comic books, cartoons, and because we grew up with him always being in that space, TV was part of our family. It was what I was exposed to. And with TV, I used to watch TV with my dad, not knowing that when I'm watching, I'm dreaming. And then maybe that kind of led to the manifestation of one day wanting to be there, being on TV, because the desire came because I think I was raised in it.
Yeah. Like you said earlier on, if you are not exposed to anything,
you won't dream it. Yeah. You can't dream something you don't know.
So today, I think with my generation, we have so many advantages because we have
you're
TikTok,
exposed. Yeah.
We have Instagram, we have all this.
So you have no excuse not to have a vision.
Yes.
Because you have access to dreaming about going to American. You see people flying all over the world. Now you can dream of getting a passport. You know what I mean? Because back in the days, also our parents, they weren't even the privilege of having even a passport for a Black family member was very limited back then. I remember when my mom had to get a passport to travel to Miss World when she entered, it was like a huge applause because a passport
was an achievement.
Yeah. Because you were privileged to be given that opportunity to use a passport to travel and being a Black person.
Going overseas.
So those are the things that we now take for granted. And you guys have access to all of these things. But I feel like you're not using those opportunities to the highest good for you. You're trying, some of you. Yeah.
We are trying. It's just like every generation, I believe, although there are advantages there and there are challenges there and there, you know, a lot. Like right now, it's very expensive to fly to New York. We're talking about something like around 20K.
But now, let me tell you, remember when I was dreaming of going overseas? When my friend told me, when my best friend was going overseas with her parents, I remember when she told me, I used to say, yo, my parents, Black people, spending money on a flight and traveling. My parents were not, Black people, we don't spend money like that, you know?
Yeah.
But God had other plans. I never had to pay for my flights. He put me in a job that paid for that. Instead, I was paid to go. Like, how beautiful is God? Like, when I was young, I was like, yo, my parents don't have that much money to take me overseas. How am I going to do it? That's why God says, don't ask how I'll do it. Give me the dream and I'll make it happen. Just give the dream. When you go to a restaurant and you order food, do you sit there after ordering your food and you wonder, is the chef going to cook it right?
Nah,
you
just
trust.
Waiting my order.
That's
what my order coming.
That's it. And you wait with anticipation that when it arrives, you're going to enjoy the food. That's what I did. I was like, okay, my parents don't have money like that for me to just be up and down in America. How am I going to do it? I don't know what kind of job will I get when I grow up. Will I have enough money in my own job to travel? Ganti, God is like, your job will be to go to America.
So passport.
That's it.
It's just before we go into you traveling the world, getting to meet all these people. You have done so many TV shows. Yeah. Divas Divine.
Yes, I think I've done maybe over 25 presenting. I'm a TV presenter by profession. That's my that was a niche market I found for myself. I was that's what I loved, and I still love it. I chose that field because it chose me, and I also enjoyed the fact that I could use TV as a medium to engage and reach out and touch millions of people at the same time.
So, which TV show that you did?
I started with.
Yes.
On Channel O.
Yes.
So when we were on Channel O, when they hired us, me and my colleagues, all remember there was 8 of us. They gave us all like different, we had different personalities, right? So me, they were like, okay, we're going to mold you as this cute, sexy girl, nyana vibes, but I mean, I'm more than that. I had to show that through my talent along the years, and that I was fun, I was witty, I was smart, I was engaging, So those are all the dynamics that I grew and developed as I was still very young when I started on TV. So you grow, right?
Yes.
So my first show, remember when they gave me a show, it was Divas Divine. Okay, before Divas Divine, I think I had other shows like Love Jams. They thought I would make a perfect love doctor. Yes. I was the love doctor.
They
made me a love doctor, and I was like, how am I a love doctor? But people used to write emails and ask questions for me.
What is a love doctor? Because I only hear 50 Cent saying I'm a love doctor in his song. What is a love doctor?
I don't know what what 50 Cent is talking about? Because I don't know if I want any love advice from 50 Cent.
Yes.
I don't know if people wanted love advice from me when I was only 21 years old and I was just in my first relationship and I didn't know much about love, but people used to write to the show and then I would sit there on this couch and I'd be like, okay, I'm your love doctor, Nonhle, hey, what's your questions? What do you need to know? And I kind of took on this role and then they would ask me, oh, my boyfriend is doing this, what must I do? And I would be like, okay, do that.
And
I don't know. just doing it and then it worked. And then I'd play a love jam song, like a slow R&B music song because that's what I liked. And then eventually after that, then they tried me on different shows, Soul Asylum, this, that. Then they gave me a show called Divas Divine. They were like, okay, I think they were like looking at me in a way like they thought I'm good with women empowerment because I'm all for women, growing and building. And the show was about empowering women. So I interviewed Thandi Somazwai. I sat like this on the couch with them and it was my own show. And I was like, welcome. And there was Lebo Matosa, those type of women that I was interviewing that were in the music space. And I was getting to know them. And then I moved to live shows, Obama, Holla, these were live shows. Then I started practicing being live because the others were pre-recorded because it's different being live and pre-recorded. And then I ended up getting O Access, which was now, boom, the biggest show. And then I did Street Bangers. I did a lot of different shows. And then I also moved to ETV. I did Club 808 at some point. And then there was just a whole lot of different musical shows. That was now like, and then I did
that old. That TV show I used to watch it.
On ETV, yeah. I did that with Mo Flavor back in the days. Yeah. And that was also a lot of fun. This was 2014, 2015. That's what I did that actually, in those years. But I'm talking also mostly about the shows I did from like when I started in the industry when I was 21. That was 2003. There was just a whole lot of different shows within Mnet, within Channel O that I did. It was a lot of fun. And then I did Vuzu, I did V Entertainment. So there was a lot of hosting that I did.
Which show that whenever you sit near home, whenever you're somewhere reminiscing on all your experiences, you say, this one really changed my life?
Oh, it's definitely O Access.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Why?
Because I wanted to travel and go to America, and then I got a job that said, go to America. That was like, whoa. But first, when they offered me that job, I didn't want to take it. When my boss called me into the office, Yolisa, I was very scared. Because she called me in and I thought I was in trouble. And then I said,
I'm going to the boss office.
Yeah, I was like,
usual.
I was like, why is the boss wanting to talk to me? Did I do something wrong? And because I'm a perfectionist, I'm professional. I was trying to see what did I do. I was always trying to impress. I'm that kind of character, especially when I was younger. And then she just sat me down and she was like, no, we want to do a show in America and we want you to go. And then she gave me a list, a paper with names of P. Diddy, 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, Mang, all these names. And she says, we are hoping that we can secure interviews and you're going to sit with those people and sit one-on-one and interview them. And I said, am I ready for such a job? And I said, no, I don't think I'm ready. I just started here. Then I wanted to say no. And then she said, no, you can't say no to this job. You have to take it.
It has never happened before.
Where
they take a South African presenter to overseas and interview these people.
Mm-hmm. It was the first. It was because most of the time they would get interviews from generic interviews. They've never really had a show where the South African personality is hanging out, because my show was more than interviewing people. I would spend a day with them. I went to their houses. I'd go to the record studio where they were recording. I'd spend a day with them. I remember when I was with Chris Brown, he was doing interviews. I was with him in the car. I'm sitting with him. We are being filmed. We're chatting. We get off. We walk in to buy something there, and then we are going to the studio. So it's like it was the show was so successful that it was an experience. I gave the viewers an experience with the celebrity. When I was in New York with 50 Cent, I spent the entire day. I checked out G Unit Studios. I met each member of G Unit. If you know who G Unit is.
I just hear the name.
G Unit, yeah. They were big at the time. I remember he took me around. He took me to he had G Unit clothing line.
Yeah.
He took me to where they make the clothes. So there was a lot of amazing stuff that the show was about. And I almost said no. Can you believe it?
I understand. I believe, because like it's the first time it's happening, and now they're telling you're going to see 50 Cent. The last time you saw 50 Cent was on TV, and it's not a South African, it's overseas. Now you're going, are you serious? 50 Cent? Chris Brown? Like, last time I saw him was on the music video. So I understand why the fear to say no is coming from, or the fear to say, nah, I don't think I'm a right fit, you know. I was
scared of failure. And I was like, I don't want to fail. Just now, maybe my expectations are not, you know, I don't want that. And in life, you can't live life safe. You know, you have to take risks. You have to go through failure. You have to go through success to get to the next level. You move through life. So I was still very young. I just wanted I wanted things that were sure. But they convinced me, and then in 2 weeks I got a passport and a visa. I got a visa in 2 weeks, and then I was flying to LA by myself. Then I stayed there with the team that was already that side that they had collaborated with. So I was the only South African, and then I had to move as they move. I had to learn how to move as an American.
Were you not high when you met Snoop Dogg? Because he's always smoking. Not because of the smoke.
When was I think we were at the awards. We were at the BET Awards. So they're very professional, these guys. You know, they're very, very professional. So no, the game, the showbiz is their life. You know, so they won't.
Yes. Snoop, like, I think I'm meeting, because I feel like...
Was he high when you met him?
No, I'm not saying I met him. I'm saying when I meet him, maybe I'll be high, because like he's smoking even on his
some of these things interviews. Are image.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just his image. He's a family man. Yeah, he's a family man.
And now I'm interested in Chris Brown. Chris Brown is my guy. I love Chris Brown so much.
I met Chris Brown. I met Neo. Remember when Neo was hot?
Bow Wow.
Yes, I met Bow Wow. I met Omarion. Remember there was a time when Omarion and Bow Wow did a collaboration of Icebox, whatever, that whole era. Those guys were hot. They were huge stars back then, you know, and Chris was new. Chris was 18 when I met him. He was very new, before the tattoos. And I met Rihanna. Rihanna was new.
We're still together with Chris.
They had not even dated yet. Yeah, they hadn't even dated yet. It was before all of that. Yeah. Then they dated after I had met them separately.
But meeting all this P. Diddy and others, which experience that always stuck with you?
There's so many, my baby. Oh, there's so many. My one day, my movie that I want to do, and maybe my book, I'll sit properly and unpack, because I've got pictures, like printed pictures, you know, not phone pictures, printed hundreds of my experience. Because when we were traveling back then, we were taking pictures with our regular cameras, remember?
Comes out sometime.
Well, no, I had to go and print out the pictures, but I have all these pictures, so I need to sit always and go back and look at the picture and remember. But there was just a lot of amazing moments, memories, because it was also not one time I went. I started living that side because of the success of the show. And O Access, do you want to know how the name came?
I do. Come on, we are documenting this experience.
So I remember the first interview I did when I landed. I was meeting a lady called Fantasia. She had just won Idols. Yeah. Okay, you young.
Yeah.
And she was shooting a music video on the streets of LA. And that was the first interview. The producers were like, go, go, go. And I was like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? There's no time for that dazzling, you know? So I was already inside the trailer where she was getting ready. I was like, hey, what's up? I'm Nonhle. We didn't have a show for the name for the show. I was like, this is Africa, Channel O. I'm represent. I was already on the flow because I was just always natural with it, you know, because this is what I wanted to do. And I remember after interviewing her, I was on the streets at night and I was like, okay, I'm in the streets of LA. I just flew in last night. I'm already here. I'm working. I'm already working. And I was like, I'm giving Africa access because what's happening here, no one will believe me if I told them. Because now we have cameras. They're going to see it. Because the things that are happening, no one can believe. I'm on the streets of LA. Hello. And I'm with American Idol's winner. Hello. And I've just interviewed her. So I said access. And then I was like, okay, Channel O. Oh, take the O. O access. Boom. There was the name. Next link. Welcome to it. This is O access, everybody. And the name was just... How could you never approve? It's linked to your logo. It's linked to your name. It just made sense. And the name was just, it resonated with what we were there for. And it kind of gave me the direction of, this is what I'm here for. I'm giving people a sneak peek. How many other Nonhles are watching me that also adore these musicians, that also like watch these people from their music videos and they dream of seeing them. They are going to live through me to meet these people. So I always made sure that when I was interviewing, I was visualizing the viewer. I always wanted to
come as a fan.
No, to get the viewers to feel like they were there.
Oh, yes.
Experiencing America. Because we all want to travel the world, but we can't all get the access to do it, right? So the show is giving you access.
You know, I love Chris Brown so much. I have said it before and I will say it again. There's no artist that I love so much like Chris Brown. I do love Michael, but he comes after Chris Brown. And the day I'm going to meet him, I think I will cry. You know. And saying that, is there a public figure in the US that when you met, you were like shaking?
You know, I ended up becoming so professional because now it became my job, you know, and I had to be very respectful because sometimes when you meet people and they're going to interview you and they are shaking and crying, I didn't want to make them feel nervous. Yes. I didn't want them like feeling like this girl, you know, so I kind of didn't have that at all. But I was just grateful to be there. But now that I think about it, when I was running around working the way I used to work in my 20s, I never really got the time to enjoy the moment. I was just focused on now, like interview, work. I became work driven and then I lost track of the fun. Yeah.
And one thing about LA, it's not like this is a state where so many actors, musicians live in. We talk about Michael Jackson living in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Was living there. It's a big state. It's not like you went to Atlanta. No,
I mean, I traveled all over. I was in Atlanta. I met Lawrence Tate is an actor.
Yes.
I was excited to meet him. I met the Brat. I met Nelly, Ashante's boyfriend, Nelly, the rapper, and Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri?
I don't know.
You don't know these people? He was dating Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, every place that I traveled to was different. But LA is definitely the hub of, it's like Joburg.
Yes.
And New York City as well. I mean, those are the two places where the celebrities walk around you. Because in LA, I was at a restaurant most of the time and I would look left or right and there was another celebrity, like someone important. And I was like, oh, Mom. I phoned my mom. I'm sitting in a restaurant and guess who is sitting up? Because I didn't have social media to like tell people what's going on or to document. Yeah.
Put it on the Insta.
Yeah. because it was before that time. My time of that experience was very much early. But yeah, you'd bump in. I bumped into Paris Hilton. Do you know her?
I don't know.
Lindsay Lohan. People that before Kim Kardashian was famous, they were famous.
I don't think even these guys they do know. We only know the Kardashians now.
The Kardashians.
Yes.
Is my phone ringing?
No.
Oh, I thought you were giving me a hint signal.
No, I was just saying you must speak for yourself.
Oh! yeah, no, speak for yourself. But
so I do know the Kardashians.
Do you know Kim Kardashian got famous because she was friends with Paris Hilton, who was the biggest star back then?
I have no idea.
And Lindsay Lohan and Britney Spears, they were the ones running the media and the tabloids and LA at the time.
And now you are doing these interviews with these big people.
Mm-hmm.
When did the criticism start?
So, then after doing O Access, then I'm doing All Good. I mean, I'm like the talk of the town, you know, and everyone's like, "Yo, your show is amazing," you know. Then the channel, it now decides to grow me because I think we need to grow as people.
Yes.
Then, I mean, I did 4 years of O Access and it was so successful that now they were like, okay, we need to start a new channel. Then we started Vuzu. Then I was hired as the face of Vuzu. And then I was the host of one of the live shows, The Entertainment. So now I needed to leave Channel O because Channel O was a different channel. I needed to start a new channel. Do you understand? So that's how I had to leave Channel O because I was offered
a new job.
So when I then moved to Vuzu, then Vuzu was like, we don't want to lose you going to America because you've already got a relationship there. Let's create something new, but you're still going to America. And then Nonhle Goes to Hollywood was what was born. And once again, the bosses call me in and they're like, and I'm like, okay. No one in South Africa had like their own individual reality show at the time. But when I was always traveling, I used to love reality TV. I used to watch reality shows that side because I was like, they're everywhere. Why don't we have here at home? You know? So then my channel bosses were like, I think it's time. Let's try it. And as usual, I'm an eager beaver.
Yes.
I'm an eager beaver. I was like, let's go for it. And then I did the show. It was the first time of an individual person have their own reality show, especially named after me, about my life. Yes, you know, it was a big deal. And I think also the timing, maybe I wasn't ready. I can only say I was not ready for having a reality show because I didn't know that reality TV was different from TV presenting. Because now it was me. The show was about
your experiences,
my life, me. Everything was about me. Whereas before, I was just the presenter and I was the one that was in the middle, mediating to bring the celebrity to the people. I wasn't the celebrity, but then with the reality show, I became a celebrity. And boy, did I not realize that coming up as a celebrity of such a stature comes with criticism. So when we launched the show, I remember one person tweeted, and Twitter had just started at the time, and I think people were still also learning Twitter. And there was just a criticism of Nonhle wa bora or something, or staged, whatever, something about the show. And I think it was my first time that I had read anyone, because I always got, Nonhle, we love you. Nonhle, we love you. Nonhle, we love you. Nonhle, we love you. Next thing I'm reading, first time I see, I'm like, somebody doesn't like my show. Why? And I was like, come on. You can't not like my show. But then I reacted, and I think that's when then I moved myself from the focus of just doing what I was meant to do. Then the criticism, when people saw that I was affected, they then were like, okay, she can answer. So this is how we get Nonhle Thema's attention. And then people started knowing that that was my weakness at the time. Not today. Not now. But at that time. So then they I think now followers of ours on social media, they know that celebrities are sensitive, so they can poke just for the fun of it.
Hey, they drove Casper crazy.
Yeah, they can drive people to suicide. It's not a joke. Like, celebrities have died because of the poking. You know, I was also like poked to an extent where I also didn't want to live. That's crazy. Can you imagine? Strangers are talking about me. I don't know them, and it's affecting me, my mental health. That's not nice.
And when this criticism starts, how many sponsors you had? Because one of them I know it was Dark and Lovely, right?
Babes, I had a lot of things. I was the face of many things at the time. I was the face of the channel, Dark and Lovely. There was a car dealership. I was a face of it. Yeah, just a lot of things. But the biggest was obviously the hair and the face of Vuzu. So those were the biggest brands at the time.
And now criticism
Yes.
starting. The first time you hear someone saying you are boring. The first time you hear someone saying your show.
Man, you know what I think? I think at that time, Vela, because I hadn't discovered who I was, I think maybe I was boring. Maybe they were right.
So
who knows?
You being told that you're boring, your show's not it is staged and everything. How did that affect you? Oh yeah, how did that affect you? And did you already have some pre-existing mental issues that you were battling inside?
I think I know I was already suffering from success syndrome. When you are successful very early, I peaked very early. I was making a lot of money very early. I was living abroad very early, you know. I was sitting with people for my age at a very early stage. A lot of things happened very early, but now I understand why things happened very early for me, because the universe, God ordained, knew that there was something that was going to happen and I was going to have to learn from it. And everything has to happen early so that you can recover and be able to. Imagine if all of that happens when I'm 42.
Now you're losing money.
Yeah, now I can't recover my mental state. Never mind money. Life is not about just money. Life is not just money. Life is more than money. You see this thing of young people thinking life is just money, the bag. I'm going to change that mindset of people. They need to understand that your soul and your existence, there's a lot of people who have died and are in the graves and they've left money behind. Money can't save you from when you go through attacks, when you go through mental issues, when you go through diseases, sicknesses. You can't, sometimes money doesn't save all the time your soul. So for me, money was never something. I grew up exposed to life and I didn't grow up not having what I wanted. So money, next I kabuki. My family, as I said, I grew up not bad.
Yes.
You know, so I never chased money. I was just doing what I loved. Money came because it came with what I just love to do. I never said, I want to get into this industry because I want to make so and so money. If that's how you choose a career, it's not the way to do it.
No,
you choose what you love.
Yes.
And the money will follow you.
With me, like when it comes to career thing, I think I choose like what I do every day to make it my career. My career,
I was like, the way I loved what I did, even if I wasn't getting paid, I would have still done it. That's how much I loved it. It was never about the money. And it's tragic that it ended up becoming about the money, because it was never the foundation of the journey, of the process, you know? So I hope people will use this as a learning curve. I think what I can share is that also, before I unpack the actual dynamics, I can quickly just share that I learned with praying, because I used to pray for the jobs I had. I used to pray for the success I had. It didn't just happen. God was assisting me. I never prayed for God to give me the strength and the guidance to when I get all the things that I want. You need to start praying for when I have this thing that I want. God, help me keep it. Help me manage it. Help me not change when it comes to me. Because when we get these things, sometimes they change us because we haven't prayed for that wisdom. So if you can do yourself a favor as a young person to start visualizing the type of success that you want and start praying, saying, God, when I make that amount of money, help me stay humble. Help me not forget you as the source. Help me not lose track of you, because when everything happened with me and I became so famous, I forgot my creator who had been the one giving me these blessings. I was now focused on pleasing people.
Showing that you're successful.
And proving, not showing, proving it. Because we like to prove ourselves to people so that we can gain respect for our ego, our pride, because it needs to be rubbed. Whereas that is where my biggest learning curve was.
The channel seeing you melting down or breaking down on social media like that, what initiative did the channel take to help you?
You know, when I was expressing how I was hurting at that time, mentally I was very unstable. I was suffering from depression, anxiety, and I had a lot of anger because I was upset because I was like, I'm doing all of this for you. And this is how you repay me. I was dramatic.
It happens. Like, I helped you to build all this and now you're turning your back on me.
No, I was just upset, Jay, and I was just tired, and I was burnt out, and I was ungrateful, and I was no longer enjoying. And I was just tired, you know, and the negativity really affected my soul. Because now every day I woke up and I was negative.
I watched your episode.
I woke up, I was negative every single second, and I was like, I couldn't breathe. You watched the episode on Unfollowed?
Unfollowed. It's an incredible episode with Tembegile Mrotot. You said something of you being reprimanded about engaging on Twitter.
Yes. I was called in.
Social media. Tell me about that experience when they called you into the office.
So I did explain it on the show. I was called in many times, like they were trying to stop me, but I just didn't listen, man. I would say to them, okay, in the meeting, okay, I'll stop. I was possessed.
with Twitter.
Whatever that was, the demon that was for me, it was Twitter. It was that space. It was, people have different demons. Some it's alcohol, some it's drugs, some it's sexual, some it's stealing. Some there's always like when the enemy, the demon attacks, he has to find you somewhere where you like. Yeah.
And when you were liking spending time on Twitter. And when did you ever think of it's possible for me to lose all these things that I have?
I didn't care.
Really?
I just didn't care at the time.
Do you regret anything?
No. I get so like bored when I get asked that question, because if I said I regretted, that means I would be like denying part of my life. Would you deny any part of your life that you've experienced?
With me, I think everything that happened, good or bad, is molding me to be the person that God wants me to be in this world.
So that's my answer to you as well. So why would I regret anything? Because I'm sitting here today, able to educate you and your listeners and your viewers with my story, because I understand that somebody out there is going to listen to this interview and they're going to get some sort of words of wisdom. And it might change their lives. Not everyone, but some people. Just like the Unfollowed interview. You know, I got a lot of love from people saying, thank you for being honest. You know, that's one of the first things I want people to learn about themselves. With my experience, they need to start also looking inside of them. Like, we can easily blame the world and say, Mang, this person did this to me. Twitter was this. I don't blame Twitter. I blame the fact that my mind was not where I wish it could have been for such success.
But
you know what I mean?
yes.
So now, why I also even run the school is to help you with your mind, because no one trains you for the fame and for the platform that I reached. No one had reached that really. And no one really had any knowledge of what could have happened. So when it happened to me, it was unknown. No one knew that could happen. No one even thought it would happen. No one could see that happening.
I think with criticism, negativity, people saying whatever they want to say to you or about you or about your work, I think no one will ever be cool or ready with that. There is no
one expects that. Yeah. No one expects that. But there was something that happened. When I was traveling a lot, when I was still doing all access, I used to get a lot of, I never said this to Timby on Unfollowed. I used to get a lot of psychics.
Yes.
White ladies. Whenever I was at a restaurant, they would come and they would say, hi. And I used to like wonder why they always, they were attracted to me. And they would say, you know, you are a very special girl. Where are you from? I'm like, from South Africa. And they were like, you're so blessed, but something bad is going to happen in your life. They used to tell me.
Wow.
Not just one. I was in Las Vegas and another lady stopped me in the mall. And I was like, oh, and I used to phone my mom and say, these women keep stopping me, mommy. And they would tell me the same thing. And she was like, something's going to happen in your life. It's going to change your life. And I used to say, what? Am I going to die? And they were like, no, it's not going to be death, but it's going to be very big. And I was like, what's going to happen to me that's going to be big? And I never knew. They were actually always telling me that there's going to be that hurdle, that thing, which was my Twitter. It's that. Because it was such a big deal at the time. And I mean, I was even suicidal because of it. I was fired because of it. You know.
Suicidal? Do you mean you have tried to take your life?
No, I didn't try. I just thought about it. I would never really try to take my life because that's not who I am. That's not what I want. It's just sometimes when you are mentally unstable, you just think negative things. Because negativity was around me that I was starting to think it. Yeah.
And tragically, when you were responding to these tweets, you mentioned some of your colleagues in the entertainment
and I don't want to
industry.
mention any of them right now on this podcast as well.
You mentioned their names.
I think everyone knows the story. They and everyone that was involved got involved. Fans, people with names, everyone got involved, and it became what it became. And I don't want to rehash exact details because these people have moved on with their lives, and we need to respect that.
No. I also, okay, if you don't feel comfortable to talk
No, because
about it.
I don't want to involve. You can talk about me. I just don't want to involve other people's names.
So, like in this whole tragic thing happening, now you are losing the gigs, the show. You are losing sponsors pulling out. At that time, now.
At that time,
what were you going through? Because now you are no longer on the show. You are no longer on TV. You are somewhere obscured. No one knows about you.
No, I was not. I was in my house.
Yes, but it's not like right now you're on camera.
But I wasn't born on camera.
Yeah.
It was important for me to just be in my house.
What were you going through then?
No, I just needed to take a break from everything and just be on Twitter if I wanted to be on Twitter until I was finished with that season.
Who are the people when you look back, was like, I appreciate this and that, they were there for me, they guided me, they helped me through all this time?
My family.
Yes. Was like it's...
Yeah, I got to know who people are. I mean, a lot of people, when you go through stuff, they're not there for you. And I got to learn who God was. Because God was with me the whole time, you know.
Let's talk about a bit of God. Since we started, God.
I'm a Christian.
I'm a Christian.
I'm the kingdom of God servant and soldier. So for me, Jesus Christ and his blood was shed for me. Today I wear red. I wear red all the time because it is a representation of the blood of Jesus Christ. That is my heritage. That is who I am. And that is what saved me from having suicidal thoughts, from having witchcraft attacks, from having mental breakdowns, from having all that negativity that was enforced on me or that I absorbed and I allowed. I'm just grateful for Jesus dying for me because of that, I was able to overcome all that. Losing jobs was nothing compared to had I lost my life. I was willing to make the sacrifice of losing a job. You can have your job. I will be just fine. And I was fine.
So this thing happening, did they drive you away from God, or it brought you closer to him?
I moved away from God when success and the money and everything happened. I made the mistake. Yeah.
But when now
so when bad things happen, God is always waiting for us. So I don't regret anything like you had asked me, because I got to cry to God. You know, I got to have a sit down with him when I wasn't on TV. He was very happy because now I could sit and just be with him, because now I wasn't busy.
Yes.
Now I could.
With him.
Yes, I was too busy for God. I got busy for God. Can you imagine me too busy for my own father? That was crazy. So when people were taking their contracts from me, I was fine with it because I kind of knew that I needed to go back to my father, because all these things that I have were causing me harm, and they were not building me. They were making me a different person. So you can have your stuff and I'll stay in my obscurity. I'm fine with that. As long as I'm alive. My biggest thing was my life at the time, because I had seen people in the industry perish in front of us that I grew up with because of problems or life. And I was like, I'm not going to let the spirit of death come near me. As much as it was trying, no, I'm going to live.
You spoke of having depression, anxiety, overworking yourself. Did you ever try to use drugs to keep up with the pressure?
No, I never did. Thank God, because I get addicted to stuff. If I like something, I like it. Can you imagine? I probably wouldn't have been here, really. Yeah. But alcohol was always, champagne, wine was my go-to. Yeah. Which is something that used to, because in the entertainment industry, you're always out, and it's wine, it's champagne, it's this, we think it's casual. Then it becomes something that is not doing you any good. Yeah.
What are you busy with right now?
I'm running my talent coaching academy. We are training. I've got a bunch of incredible young people. They're already on television. We're an agency. We are also a management group, and then we are going to be producing. Right? It's under Talent Coaching Academy, and they can find me on www.talentcoachingacademy.co.za. And that's my biggest passion. That's my ministry. So that's where I get to also show my children, just how to be in the entertainment industry, how to do things better than I did, and to have the mentor, because I didn't really have a mentor when I was doing things on my own. I was my own everything, because no one really understood the type of level of work that I was doing, that they could mentor me. You need to have somebody who mentors you, who's been through things. A mentor has to be somebody you can't be mentored by someone who hasn't driven a car if you want to drive and you want somebody to teach you to drive, and they can't drive because they've never been. A mentor has to be somebody who surpassed you, because they can guide you. So because of my career was very unique, like no one had done a reality show, but my mom she had her own Uteliwe back in the days.
But it's not.
But it wasn't the same vibe. No, it was her in Durban. So also her, she couldn't understand and relate to Twitter because she wasn't in that space, So I love the fact that now what I do is I mentor, and it comes from my heart because this is my passion. And I'm happy that I get to use my experience to say to other kids, don't do this, don't answer. Don't get into, if you feel like you're going through depression, you're not happy, go back to God, because the industry can sometimes move you away because you get so busy. I was so busy. My money became my God. Like, that's why you young people, money. You need to stop that thing. Money will come. It should not be your God though. But it becomes that. Your money, your career, it's always work. I wasn't born for just that. I'm here for much more than just work. And chase money. No. We're here to change lives, with the work we do. But now once you start losing track, and now money is the front, you lose everything. And Mina Nami, I started money was the number one topic. And I also lost direction.
Money.
And money is good because we need money.
Yes.
But money is like a person, it calls on to the one that is attracted to it. And now, when you're not ready for money, also it's like a relationship. It can also like dribble you, That's why I said earlier that I wish I could have prayed more, but I wasn't really praying a lot because I was busy. I was never around. And if I was around,
Thinking about the show tomorrow.
Work and stuff was my idol at the time. So I wish I could have had, if I knew things I know now, I would have spent more time in meditation. I would have spent more time asking for guidance for when success comes, when fame comes. Because I was never doing this for fame. So I never thought I would be that famous. But one day I was a big celebrity in this country. I didn't even know how that happened. I was like, I'm in the papers. Me. They used to just write a little thing about me and it was this small. Now I'm like, wow, front page, Nonhle and Nonhle Thema. It's like, whoa, my name became so big. I was like, oh, my name. Wow, is that my name? I wish I could have prayed for guidance of how to step into that territory of being influential like that.
And this academy that you are busy running, mentoring, is there a registration fee?
People must just go onto our website and email us at info@Talent Coaching Academy. They will get all the information. .co.za. info@talentcoachingacademy.co.za. They will get all the info. And also what I do is I do public speaking.
Yes.
I mean, obviously motivational speaking. I'm currently doing a few rounds. I don't know when this of yours will air, but I'm doing some rounds where I'm motivating some women in business to also pick themselves up in life. We are all going to go through the circle of life, It's up, down, yin, yang, but it's always about never, ever moving forward. Don't stop. Keep going. Yes, you can look back, but don't keep looking back. Keep going forward. You know what I mean? So I want to empower women and men always. So that's my ministry, where I'm going to be constantly on the road. I'm going to East London. I'm going to speak about the power of restoration, how you can also get your life back. Because I had my life unravel, and I did not like the person that I became in front of people. And I had to go back and say, nah. Who is Nonhle besides being on television, besides being this person, that person? Am I still a human being worthy to be loved when I'm not on television? Because if you're only going to love a person because of their job, a job can be taken away from you. People can take a job any day. It's their job. They gave you. But I needed to learn that, okay, what's on the inside of me cannot be taken.
Do you know Dr. Miles Monroe?
No. Oh, I've heard of Dr. Miles Monroe, but I'm not a follower. I've heard.
Do you know Rana guys say she's always speaking about him?
Mm-hmm.
You should read his books.
Mm-hmm.
You should listen to his teachings.
Mm-hmm.
As a pastor is late now, dying in a plane crash.
I've heard of his name. I've just never researched on him, because some of the pastors that mentor me have mentioned that they were inspired
by Dr. Miles Monroe. Dr. Miles Monroe. He said, when you're talking about a job and work, he said that, saying that the job they can take away because they gave you. Dr. Miles Monroe, he said they can fire you from your job.
Yes.
But you can't fire you from your work.
Yes.
Because your work is what you were born to do.
Exactly.
You can't fire a bird from flying.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fire a fish from swimming,
Mm.
because that's what makes a fish to
exactly.
swim. So the issue of work is very important. Very important.
And also, like a relationship, it can end. You can't also base your life because of a relationship. That person can tomorrow wake up and say, I don't want to be here. It's their life. You must let them go if they want to go. You can't say, stay. You can't, The only person you have in your life is you. And if everybody takes what is theirs, you still have yourself.
Yes.
Friends can leave you. We're out. Will you be your own friend when friends that you thought were your friends are not there?
Obviously. I'm the one who knows me better than
So
anyone.
that's what I needed, because I needed to go through everything so that I could get stronger, because I was always around people who loved me or were around me for their own gain.
And just wrapping this interview, because of time, don't want to delay you. What are your plans going forward? What are the things that you're busy with? I know you spoke about writing a memoir. You spoke
Yes,
about
I'd love
writing
to. Yeah,
producing your own movie.
I'm taking life as one day as it comes. Whatever God wants me to do, I'm back to His alignment. I don't make my own decisions. He knows my dreams. He knows my goals. He knows my manifestations and my desires. But it's about if He wants me, because I'm glad that He took me out of the entertainment industry those years ago, for those periods, because I was able to grow up and grow and become stronger and know who I am in this world, because I wasn't sure who I was in this world. That's why I was dragged into fights randomly, or dragged into tweets, or dragged into things that that's not what I'm here for. You understand what I'm saying? That's not what I'm here for at all. And some things will never get my attention again. Most things now don't get my attention. I know where my attention deserves to be given. It's my energy. It's my currency is my energy, where I bring my energy to, So I will never, ever bring my energy to anything that is disruptive. It's about building. It's about growing. It's about empowering. So anything that has to do with those elements is where I'm going with my life. I'm going to be acting back, because that's my passion. I've just shot something. People can have a look. They must follow me on Instagram. I'll announce it very soon. It's a short movie. They can watch that. But I'm excited to do what I still loved then, and I still love it now. But I'm doing it with a different mindset. And I want people to also, just before we go, to learn to be honest with themselves, and not to be afraid of looking at themselves naked in the mirror. Because if you don't love yourself and accept yourself for the mistakes, for the flaws, for your weakness, and you constantly want to hide and put on a mask, even for yourself, at least you can do that for the world, but for yourself, do yourself the justice, do introspection. Fix yourself first and say, what is not good for me? What must I remove from my life? Why did I make that mistake? Why did I lose this? Why did this relationship end? What do I have to do with losing that friendship, that relationship, that contract? Assess yourself and look at yourself and then fix yourself. Learn, read books, go on YouTube, get off social media, go and get empowered. Go to a church if you need to understand more about fellowship, what fellowship is. If you want to learn more about God, I'm currently studying theology because I have an obsession with knowing myself in the creation of my Almighty God. That is what I'm here for, to glorify his kingdom, to glorify him as a human being. I'm just a vessel that is walking to show his glory, because all the stuff that I went through, I wasn't supposed to be here today. I'm still here because there's a huger, if there's such a word, a huger purpose. There's a huger purpose than what I went through. There's a bigger plan for my life, and it's unfolding in everyone's eyes. And I'm just grateful that I'm still here and I'm still part of it. And I want other people to always pick themselves up, to never give up on themselves, and to know that they're their own cheerleader, because ain't nobody going to cheer for you in this world. You're your own savior.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I always say this to my guests, and I will say this to you also. I don't take it lightly.
Yes.
To make time to come and talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
You are such a big brand. You have an interesting story. It's your story, your time. You could be doing something productive that can bring you money. Now we're just a bunch of students trying to do this. You know, the bigger production you could have went to newsroom, but you chose to come here with your transport coming here. We really appreciate this, and I'll always be grateful. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, and yeah, all the best with your production and your dreams. Continue to stay focused on your goals and write things down, all the things you want to achieve, where you want to be in the next couple of years. Manifestation comes from visualizing it as well.
Yes.
Yeah. God bless you.
Thank you so much. You know, you always say things that triggers me to Dr. Miles Monroe. He once said something.
Maybe I am the next Dr. Miles Monroe.
I don't think there will ever be a pastor smart like him.
No, I mean, I don't believe anyone can be, a person can carry the mantle of someone, you know, but I mean, everyone has their own story. Like, with the Bible, there's a couple of stories that I resonate with, like the book of Job and Joseph, you know, I feel like I can see Nonhle in them, but obviously I can never be them, and Nonhle will never be another Nonhle. There's going to be only me. So no one can be another person, but we can resonate, which carry maybe some sort of characteristics about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Miles Monroe, he said, go into a farther place, sit under the tree, close your eyes and see something with your heart and focus on it. And my high school teacher, Chamber Vilagazi, said, see something with your eyes closed and keep on chasing it. So when you talk about visualizing, writing down your dreams, you just trigger me to these powerful words. But thank you so much for coming.
I'm a powerful woman.
I believe so. I can see, like, whenever you're talking, you talk not with confidence only, but you
I don't talk with confidence
wisdom.
only. I also like
wisdom.
I like to just have authority over what I say, because I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not confused about what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying.
Thank you so much. God bless you. I'm a Christian too, so let me just say God bless you in every plan that you have, and may you continue to stay humble.
Yeah. But who have you enjoyed so far that you've interviewed? Claudi, because you've got his picture.
I had Claudi Mtsini, the former COO of SABC.
Yes, I know. I saw the picture on your profile.
I enjoyed being with him. But the coolest of everyone, you know, all of my guests that came here, they're so humble, so loving and caring. But the one who outmost everyone was outstanding, exceptional is Dumumjal. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know Dumumjal from Number?
Yes, I know him. Yes,
It's a love, first sight love. What is it, the term again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to love. It's so, yeah, love at first sight. It's so humble.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really humble. I loved being around him,
Mm-hmm.
seeing how humble he is more than the conversation. You know, I love the experience of getting to know someone beyond conversation, just how they conduct them. So he's is exceptional, Stephen John.
Okay, no, that's fantastic.
So,
I'm so happy for you, my baby. Okay, you keep asking me.
Yes, I want you to say I am.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Let's go.
I will go you this one. And yes, we are ready.